Okay, so let's start with what is a magnet word. Okay, remember that magnet words are the big idea words, the main ideas behind what you're studying, right? So it can also be a phrase depending on what you're talking about. Last week's big idea would have been what? Martin Luther King Jr. Thank you. Okay, so what you're going to do on your piece of paper in just a few minutes when we get ready to do our literary theory is you'll take our magnet word for today in just a minute and you'll write it in the center of the piece of paper, because that's what you want to do. You want to take your big idea and put it in the very center of your paper or your index card. Around that you have attractor words. Attractor words are the details behind your big idea that are naturally attracted to that big idea. Okay? These can define the magnet term, they can describe it, or they can just simply be vital to the understanding of your magnet term. So what you'll do with those is you'll take them and you'll put them in the outside area of your magnet word on your piece of paper. Let's practice. What are some attractor words for Martin Luther King? Equality. Thank you, Allison. Jessica. Non-violence. Okay. Grant.
Speeches.
Thank you. Danny.
Civil rights.
Civil rights. We need one more. Olivia.
Marches.
Marches. Excellent. Okay. Then what do? I think I skipped a slide.
You make them into a sentence.
Well, something's going on with the slide. So then from here, you take all of these things and you make them into a sentence to describe the nutshell of what we were talking about last week. Okay, so who's got a good sentence for Martin Luther King? Grant?
Martin Luther King was a civil rights leader. He had speeches, marches, and he was nonviolent. And
We're getting there. We're getting there. That's a good try. Cambry.
Martin Luther King Jr. fought for equality during the civil rights movement using nonviolent marches and speeches.
Very good. Very good. Did everybody hear?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I need to repeat? Martin Luther King Jr. You're going to have to help me.
Fought for equality
Martin Luther King Jr. fought for equality
during the civil rights movement
during the civil rights movement
using nonviolent marches and speeches.
using nonviolent marches and speeches. So she has the big idea, the magnet term, and used all of our attractor terms to really describe the main idea of what we talked about last week. Very good. Okay, let's go to this week. What are we talking about this week? Literary theory. So what's your magnet term? Literary theory. So where does that go?
In the box.
In the box. Literary theory goes in the center. Take a minute to write that. And then what you're going to do, if you have to make it pretty, that's fine. And then what we're going to do is you all have your Chromebooks out, and hopefully you've pulled up the Google Slides that we talked about earlier this week describing literary theory. And the first 3 or 4 slides actually tells you what literary theory is all about. So I want you to take a minute and look through those slides and find 5 attractor words to put around the box on your piece of paper. Okay? You can work with your small groups, but make sure that those 5 words are really good and really impactful. We will reconvene. I'll give you guys about 2 or 3 minutes to take care of your attractor words, and then we'll go from there.
Perspective. I said understanding and criteria.
Okay. Oh, I got criticism. What you got? Criteria. Very good. I'm gonna go this way. Nice. Very good. Interpretation of. Y'all are awesome. Okay, if you're still working on your sentence, let's try to finish up. Many of you have different words, and that's good. So what are some of the words that we can put on the board that you have for attractors? Cambry.
Literature.
Literature? Daniel.
Perspective.
Perspective. Stone.
Non-factual.
Non-factual. I'm going to put more than 5 to show the variety, okay? Non-factual. Jessica? Criteria. Olivia?
Understand.
Understanding or understand. Karen? Interpretation. That's a long word. Sam?
Lens.
Lens. Very good. It was one of the key things that we talked about the other day. Lauren?
Psychoanalysis.
Psychoanalysis. Okay. Ethan?
Reader response.
Reader response. And both of those are types of literary theory. Who's next? Cambry again?
Relating or related to.
Of or relating to. And then Daniel, you had one too?
Yes. Dissection.
Dissection. Is that 2 S's?
Yes.
Okay, so lots of different attractor terms that we could put up there. You are only asked to do 5 because it kind of keeps it minimal for you. But just to kind of show around the room some of the different things that I saw, lots of different terms. So you were asked to write a sentence with these. Many of you just went straight into that, and that's okay. Who wants to share? Jessica.
Literary theory is the non-factual criteria of the text in relation to the culture of the reader to analyze and understand how it affects them.
Very good. Let me read it out loud for everybody. Literary theory is the non-factual criteria of a text in relation to culture of the reader to analyze and understand how it affects them. Okay, nice. Ethan?
Literary theory uses ideas like formalism, psychoanalysis, and reader response as a lens for criticism.
Very good. Literary theory uses certain concepts like psychoanalysis, reader response. There was another one. What was your third one? Formalism, so that we can see through different lenses to analyze literature. I paraphrased. Okay?
So we use literary theory to focus our analysis on non-factual interpretation and argument through the lens in which we view literature.
Very good. Again, non-factual, so that we can view literature through a lens. Okay? Any questions about literary theory? No? Are we good? We're good. We're good. All right. Good job, guys.